Aloha. I had to make a quick video because I was I just looked at another Ancient Aliens episode, and it was about mummification, and the next one was about flying, and I just pieced together the how I'm seeing the algorithms of what Ancient Aliens actually is as existing as a house slave mind control program. Basically, anything that is involved in the transhumanism agenda, the political scene, anything that gives your power away and you buy into it, you're a house slave. You're giving your power away. So all these secret space programs and all this like new age everything, the new age agenda and all this stuff is going to be institutional or instituted into whatever is coming next as the next control grid, because the so-called they are not able to control people with politics anymore. Obama was the last straw. The Hillary and Trump, that's just a hologram. That's just a holographic observation of what's going on. The actual infrastructure is being set with all this scientific community stuff, this CERN stuff, the flat earth stuff, all this stuff that is so-called alternative news or conspiracy theory is going to be spoken about pretty soon when the alien agenda stuff kicks off. It's already being spoken about it's already on the scene, basically. The only thing is that people who are followers or people who are house slaves who have been locked into that slave mentality, they need somebody else to tell them that it's real before they actually believe that it's real. And that's actual power. That's some real shit. Like that's what the magic spell program is based upon. It's based upon controlling individual conscious beings by having them enslave themselves and then have them enslave their children, and then that goes on generations and generations. This is what the whole university system is about. The university system is being disassembled systematically by the alternative news, the alternative information, the revamping of ancient understandings, real history, actual truth coming about, and the revealing of the fact that the transhumanism agenda is based upon the evolution theory and the entire facade of what our reality is based upon. And these so-called professors and scientists and Egyptologists and all these other individuals who are on the scene, I want to focus on Ancient Aliens for this moment, and I don't want to get off track. They're slowly but surely moving into the forefront of our understandings. Like you can see George Norrie, he's started out as a radio host. Now he's on Ancient Aliens. And David Wilcock and Corey Good, all those individuals who, like, David Icke is another one, started out on their own talking about so-called crazy stuff, out there information. That whole, like, it's a mentality that grows over time, and it's based upon giving your power away and making you not question your reality at all. Because if you have individuals who are giving you the answers to whatever this information is, then you don't do the research yourself. And that's the thing. That's the whole program itself, is to be codependent on a control grid that gives you the information, that gives you your thought patterns, instead of empowering you to find out the truth for yourself or question your reality for yourself, because there are so many different perspectives that are going on. These individuals float in that in-between space. They never know shit. They never know anything. Ancient Aliens is all about theory. If you really think about it, it's all theory. They mix in this so-called solid information or ancient astronaut theorists and all this other stuff. I made a video on this previously, but I wanted to condense it into this video real quick and talk about it quickly because it's still going on and it's so interwoven in the so-called New Age agenda and the transhumanism. That's one thing. That's one program that's being manipulated through this entire agenda, and it's all based upon this evolution theory, the Big Bang, ancient aliens, television shows that are in History Channel, Discovery Channel, National Geographic. These are all mind control programs to keep you in the slave mode, to keep you in the house slave mentality. Just like the same thing goes for the music industry, like Drake, that whole started from the bottom, now we hear shit. That whole fucking mentality, like, where are you? Like, where you started from the bottom of a house slave and you made it to the top here of what? The house slave. You are a house fucking slave, Mr. Drake. Like, you started from the, where is here? What is here? You are in a plantation, in a house on a plantation. This is the whole enslavement mind control program, and it's only being amplified by the bully program. When you get Neil deGrasse Tyson going on television shows, dropping the mic, talking all this shit, going on television shows that you believe in, like you trust these individuals, these TV show hosts, you trust these people. This is all a mind control program, all of it, every last piece of it. And the only way they can control your mind is if they lock you in with pieces of truth, pieces of information. This is why Ancient Aliens talks about the Inca people and the Egyptians and ancient and Egyptologists, and they put themselves on the same level, saying ancient astronaut theorists have thought about this and have put this together. What the fuck is an ancient astronaut theorist? What is that? They make this stuff up, and it only is credible because they put it with other information that you've read about on alternative perspectives. And it's not so much about the information, it's about who and what controls the information, controlling the dialogue. As long as everything is secret, then you have control. Then you can release information when you feel like it and how you feel like it that will promote a certain agenda. And this is the main agenda behind the Ancient Aliens program, is the transhumanism agenda, and the overall agenda is the New Age program. This is why David Wilcock and Corey Goode and George Norrie and all these other individuals who are talking about, the certain stuff, and they've talked about some more extreme shit on the other talk shows that they've been on, but they can only talk about it on so much on History Channel. That's a mind control program. All of it. It's to glorify today as like the information, the technology, the medical industry, the university system, is to glorify today as the pinnacle of human evolution. This is what Ancient Aliens is based upon. And I wrote down these, it's total evolutionary programming. And everything else is secondary. This is why I wrote these things down that I just wanted to end it on. To show there's like 4 key or 5 key things that gets pumped out through Ancient Aliens. So the first one is the Ancient Aliens, and you can watch an episode. This is in every single episode. These thought patterns, this style of perspective, the way the information gets shared, the way the perspectives gets put out there. You can already see, and I didn't write this one down yet, you can already see that they always end on theory. They always end in between. We don't know. Maybe it's this. But you walk away thinking that they're the individuals that are going to keep you in the know or get you in the know eventually. That is the whole time-stealing program as a whole. if they put themselves in front of you as the ones that give you the answers for what your history is about and what your future is going to be about, then you are caught up in limbo, going along with whatever storyline they put out there. So basically, this is it. This is what I came up with. The first thing is to make every ancient culture secondary to today's technology. Technology and everything that we've created today is first. And that's how it's set up. It's like, well, ancient cultures might have done this. They might have had flying aircraft. They have all these artifacts showing it. Then they do all these they put that artifact of the airplane in. They make a bigger one and then put it in like a flight chamber, and they said, "Oh, this could have flown. This could have flown. Maybe ancient aliens came down there and told them this stuff." Like it's a whole thought pattern that makes it's basically telling you that the indigenous people and the ancient humans here were all savages. It's just another way of saying that they were savages and aliens came down there and told them everything. That's the only way. It's to skip the actual history, the actual understanding, the stuff that's hidden underneath the British Museum and underneath these universities, is to skip all that information and give the power away to an ancient alien structure so it can make, or intellect, so it can make everybody that is within today's version of technology, today's version of knowledge and information, equal to what was in the past, and not only equal but better than, more evolved than what was in the past. Because the past, they were just savages. How could they construct such laser cut precision on this stone? We can't even do this today. Like, oh, how did they do this? It must have been ancient aliens who instead of actually, it's all the way to take credibility away and to amplify themselves. So the second thing I put down was to cut out ancient cultures, to give all the credit to the ancient aliens. So that's what I already went into, which sets the foundation to the alien agenda. So all of this ancient aliens itself, like, is to create a mind, a thought pattern that gets you prepped for the alien agenda. So when the so-called they come out with their secret information and their alien stuff, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like what's being said. It matters who's saying it to you and how they're telling it to you and how they're presenting the story to you, because whoever is telling the story has the power. And this is what the television is. It gives you the illusion of being informed and being connected to something that is intellectual or in the know, and since you do your little research about the secret stuff, you listen to David Wilcock outside of Ancient Aliens, and you listen to George Norrie outside of Ancient Aliens, then you're actually in the know. No, these are just two layers that are both still existing within the slave house. This is some house slave shit, all of it. It never goes into the in-depth details of the ancient peoples and with the perspectives that they were coming from. It never goes into the in-depth details of the creation myths and all those, their understandings and connections to soul as a whole and spirit as a whole and nature as a whole. It's all about technology. It's all about the evolution theory. It's all about interweaving these perspectives into the artificial perspectives of today with like astrophysicists and Neil deGrasse Tyson, whatever Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, and Michio Kaku are talking about today. They just tell the old school stories from their perspectives to build themselves up as valid or having any credibility or being the ones your professors, basically. So the third thing is to promote today's technology and medical field as the future, which I already went into. That's exactly what it is. Like if they tell you your history and they tell you what is your present moment, knowing that all this information about technology and all this other stuff is hidden, and not even the fact that the ancient cultures had all this stuff, all this technology has already been invented before. They can buy your present moment, buy your history, and steal your future by continually putting it out ahead of you. Putting it out. This is what the whole Back to the Future card thing and all this other stuff. This is how CERN gets in front of the Mandela effect and says, oh, this is it. The ancient aliens. What Ancient Aliens does for transhumanism and the alien agenda, CERN is doing for the Mandela effect. And every single natural thing that you are engaging with in your reality is second guessed because it goes counter to the program, the mind control program as a whole. And then since you don't have any peer groups around you to bounce this information off of, or since you've been so locked into the social media program, mind control program, that has a very definite dialogue, it has a definite program, a filtering program which allows information and doesn't allow information, and expands information that is of a distractionary program, and it contracts information that is of an expansion program. That is stealing time, stealing energy, stealing information, stealing consciousness by the illusion of expanding it. It's all within the house, the slave house. So the fourth thing I wrote down was to demean the ancient peoples by saying that they got everything from aliens. While today's people made their technology by discovery, like they invented all this technology, like they made this up, they figured this out, today's version. But the ancient peoples, they couldn't have done that on their own. They were primitive savages. It must have been aliens who came down here and did this. While today, the intellectual people of today, they actually discovered black holes and discovered the Big Bang thing and discovered all this CERN and all this other stuff. This is that subtle mind control program that people are watching. Kids are watching every day, thinking that this is their reality, because they have these university certified individuals, or not even that, when they just say that you can hear constantly that gets repeated in there. Ancient astronaut theories think that ... That's a made up thing. That's a made up title. Ancient astronaut theorists. This is the theory mind control program. It is that limbo space to keep you from researching what the actual what the actual fuck happened here. As long as people are theorizing about everything and they put some dramatic music and some funky ass CGI in front of you and link it in with NASA and link it in with astrophysicists and link it in with the university system and link it in with the evolutionary deception and link it in with all this other stuff that you actually believe in and mix it all up in this ball of confusion and say, oh, well, we'll figure it out someday, then you don't have time to figure all that shit out on your own because it's so confusing. It's so all over the place. You don't know where to start. And the way they piece this stuff together, episode through episode, season through season, is a dumbing down. And the same thing goes for these talk show hosts and these National Geographic shows, Discovery Channel shows, History Channel shows, is to keep you in the powerless slave mentality. You're a house slave. If you're waiting on the alien agenda, you're a house slave. If you're waiting on the new age shit or whatever, if you're waiting on anything, you're a fucking house slave. And this is what this whole program is based upon. Stealing information, stealing indigenous history, stealing the actual essence. Because you'll see and hear everything that they bring up in Ancient Aliens, they reference it, but it's only really quickly. They reference that it was already invented or it was already understood by the ancient people thousands of years ago. And then the way they say it, they say, oh, well, now we've figured it out. We've done it. And how did they do that? Those savages, how did they get this stuff? It must have been ancient aliens. Go to commercial. And then the commercials get you in that trigger mentality, make you hungry, make you thinking about sex, make you thinking about playing with your emotional threads, making you feel a certain way, depressed, whatever it is. And then they come back into the show and then you get your fill again. This is a drug. It's a house slave drug. And then the last thing I wrote down for this was, this actually sets the infrastructure for the New Age and alien agenda. So yeah, basically I already said all this stuff. So this is what the Ancient Aliens program is based upon. They already outwardly say that they are about transhumanism. You can go on their website and read, I think it was like the latest season, episode 20 or 21. They actually say transhumanism is the next evolutionary step for humanity. So that's their fact. Like that's when they actually, this whole TV show always ends on theory. Excuse me. They never put anything together. So when they state facts like that, like their kind of facts, then you can actually put together what their intentions really are. And then when you put all this stuff together as far as like the individuals, when you look at what David Wilcock's about and where he came from, what he's been talking about, what Eric Von Daniken's been talking about, what George Norrie's been talking about. When you go into all that stuff, then you can piece together. You can see where these threads are connected to. You can see where the agenda is going, and how it's being manipulated to tell a particular story and get you in a particular vibration, a thought pattern, to act a certain way, to think about your history, your people, your everything a certain way, and also to set the infrastructure, the platform for whatever the next agenda is. So that was basically it. I just wanted to get that out there because I did a video about ancient aliens before, but it was more just like a little parody, I guess, to show how just ridiculous it is. But they still play these episodes all the time, and this is one of the biggest, it's one of the main programs out there that are holding people back from seeing the actual information and simultaneously herding people into this new age transhumanism mind frame. It's all connected. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku, Bill Nye, this alien hair guy, all these ancient astronaut theorists, all these fake ass Egyptologists. They go and steal all of this information, just as the individuals went all over these ancient structures, these ancient sites, broke all the noses off of the statues, stole all the gold, stole all the gems, stole all the scripts, the artifacts, the actual books, hid them underneath the British Museum, and then said, no, this is the actual history. This is what it's all about. Your public education system and the university system. And since we don't have anywhere to put this stuff, we don't know what to actually look into or what to actually believe, because our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-great-grandparents have all been locked in to this basic understanding of reality, which is a misunderstanding of reality, down to our genetic code. We don't even have, you've been feared into not even allowing your genetic structure to fully activate, to experience your reality outside of a prepositioned, a lunchable microwave TV dinner program. This is what Ancient Aliens is. It's a fucking TV dinner for your history. That's what History Channel is. And it's a TV dinner for your future. It's a TV dinner for everything. And then eventually they're going to start giving out these TV dinners for so-called free under the guise of whatever in order to make you believe in this stuff. And then, because this is information is food. You eat this stuff up. You trust these people. You trust all this stuff, and then once they get you to a certain trust factor, then it gets activated, and before you know it, you're in a bigger house slave. You're in a bigger slave house. So this is what's happening right now when people are talking about the shift. It's an internal and external shift. The destructive intelligence is going to shift the slave house, but the creative intelligence that exists inside of each individual and the collective as a whole is also making that shift. So it's not this love and light one-way perspective, one-sided to look at shit. It's at least going to shift on every level. And the observable levels, as you can see, the mainstream level, the university level, and you can feel your soul shifting. You can feel information shifting. If we just look at it as that and see that, okay, well, that's natural to want to find out information, to want to understand who and what you are, what your true history is about, what this stuff is. But no, that's the distract. They want to distract you from that and have you focusing on the so-called future or the aliens and all this other stuff who came in from the past. It's all externalized. Everything is externalized. The internal shifting is never being mentioned in all of this stuff. The internal connections to the soul and the spirit is never mentioned in this. If it's ever mentioned, it's connected to the ancient people and the indigenous people who they still refer to as savages in so many words and perspectives. And the Ancient Aliens mind control program is the main one out there right now as far as the next agenda for the destructive intelligence. So if you are still holding down what you understand is your reality based upon these assholes that are in here, this David Wilcox and Corey Goods and all this crazy hair dude, everybody that's on Ancient Aliens, all this stuff, if you're still connected to anything that they're talking about and they're wanting to do, look further. Look at how they're saying what they're saying and get out of the mind control program of what they're saying. Because what they're saying has all been said and understood before. Thousands of years ago. It's nothing, none of this shit is new, but they sell it to you as new with all this CGI graphics and all this NASA stuff and medical stuff and research and genetic carbon dating and all this reason that we flew down here. It's making you believe into an illusion. So that's basically it. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, from all relations, peace, love, and harmony.